Well, if the golf industry was nothing but birdie, birdie, eagle in the 1980s, it's definitely been bogey time the last couple of years. One sign of the times, in the last year, more golf courses closed than opened. Today, the executive director of the USGA, David Fay, is in town to talk about golf's impact on the economy. And David Fay is with us this morning, as well as Michele Steele, who is our sports reporter. And David, you know, it seems as if, like anything else, right, we've been hit by the recession, particularly, you know, even in sports, in golf, and we were just talking about courses closing. What are you doing right now to sort of generate the interest and generate the revenue for golf?
Well, first of all, I think that it's more of a par, occasional birdie and maybe occasional bogey. Yeah, of course, golf, like any other sport, like just about everything, has been impacted by the economic downturn. In some ways, for the consumer, for the golf consumer, it's not a bad time because you have more choices and maybe more affordable choices. With golf, it's such a collection of organizations. You have the PGA of America, you have the USGA, of course, the professional tours. Right. And then, of course, you have the all-important consumers. I think that for professional golf, their numbers are pretty steady. People who may not even play golf still are watching golf. For the consumer, there are courses that are shutting down, but if you're going to a course, you can say, you know, my green fee may be a little bit less, equipment might cost a little less, so
right.
it
might be a bit less crowded there. Now, you're going to meet with the mayor later today, right, to talk about golf. What are you going to talk about exactly?
Well, we have about 30 million people who play golf, which means there are 285 million who don't. You don't know what they feel about golf. But one thing you can point to is this. Golf, in this state alone, 56,000 jobs in the state of New York, 1.5 or so billion in wage earnings, $5.3 billion golf has contributed to the economy. Right. So regardless of whether you're a golfer or even if you don't like the sport, the impact it has on the economy, not only of New York State, but every state in the union, is significant.
It's a lot bigger than you thought, yeah.
30 million people play golf. One has been in the spotlight in particular, David. You know who I'm talking about. Tiger Woods, and you guys host the U.S. Open. Any anticipation of him coming back either before that point or for the Open?
Well, I hope he comes back.
Is it important that he comes back? Well,
he's the #1 player in the world, and as a sports fan, I would be saying, I hope Kobe comes back, or I hope A-Rod came back from that injury. But the reality is that I've known Tiger since, he's been 13 years old. And my hope for him is that he gets at ease with himself, at ease with the world, and that he comes back as soon as possible. And because golf is obviously playing competitive golf is a very important part of his life. And so we'll find out for the U.S. Open by the end of April, because all entries are due by April 29th.
Should there have been more support for Tiger Woods during this time from the golf community?
I can't speak for the golf community. I'm just looking at him individually and from the USGA. And again, I just hope he gets things sorted out. And obviously, everyone has occasional problems in their life. It was very well publicized, overly publicized. The fact that my hometown newspaper spent more time on the front page on Tiger Woods than 9/11 is remarkable. It's sad.
So you think he's been unfairly treated then?
I think he has been extensively covered. It's up to everyone to make their own judgments.
And real quickly here, I know that yesterday a decision was reached that closed that loophole on the equipment, essentially making all golf clubs similar. How imperative is it for all the equipment to conform to the new specifications?
Well, if you're playing at now people are going to start getting their eyes to, if you're playing at the highest level, the majors, professional events, you have this condition of competition regarding grooves. That doesn't apply to the three of us unless we're playing in something like the U.S. Women's Open or the U.S. Open. But we did have this one exception for Ping I2s made before March 1990, where they, even though they didn't conform to the new standards, they were allowed. That's now been lifted out for the PGA Tour and the U.S. Open.
So Phil Mickelson can sleep soundly tonight.
Excuse me?
Mickelson can sleep a little bit more soundly tonight.
I understand Phil is a pretty good sleeper.
Okay, David, thanks so much for joining us.